the cave is also a ancient supernatural entity that embodies this entire place. He'll comment on what you're doing, he'll occasionally pass judgment, but most of the time he will let these characters do what they will, make the decisions they'll make, and find exactly what it is they're looking for. So here we are in the Hillbillies location. We're going to descend down into this environment and find out just what's going on.
Ooh, that sweet smell of cotton candy and roller coaster vomit can mean only one thing: the carnival is in town. And you know what these three would love even more than going to the carnival? Sneaking into the carnival. Oh, come on, there's no shame in it, really. It's a victimless crime, unlike the crime about to be committed by someone who shall remain nameless. But it rhymes with Bill Hill.
Nice flooded passageway. See if we can find a way in, because it looks like the cave tour continues on that way. But she's running out of air, and it looks like she's died. So yeah, the cave is a benevolent, omniscient observer, and he wants everybody to make it through the cave and discover what they're meant to discover. So he'll resurrect characters if you die, so you can continue playing that way. So every character that you play the cave with has a special ability. The adventurer has a grapple hook, but I don't think that's very useful here. Whereas the hillbilly has the ability to hold his breath for absurdly long periods of time. Not unlike a certain other adventure game protagonist from a long time ago. Anyway, so yeah, that seems like the ticket here. So why don't we have him jump in, and we're playing co-op here. You can play it with 1, 2, or 3 players. And Chris took camera focus so that we're following the hillbilly now as he uses his hold breath ability to make it through this underground tunnel and come up on the other side.
You just tap on any of these characters, and I will jump to that character and grab camera control. So
yeah. And it looks like there's a nice big stack of dynamite here. So we're gonna light that. Well, it looks like we're through there. Alright, now we can bring the other characters in. A little deeper in here. Hello?
Oh, there she is, the amazing two-legged lady. You know that hillbilly carries a torch for her. If only she would finally notice him. They could marry and live happily ever after with a house full of little Bill Hillies. The pink bear hanging in that prize booth looks remarkably like what the amazing two-legged lady desires most. Perhaps the hillbilly can win enough tickets to buy it for her. Then this adorable story can have its happy end.
So now we have a more concrete goal here. We're going to try and collect enough tickets to win the bear, get the girl. So here we have, look at this. This kid's got a ticket. I don't think the hillbilly has any qualms about just snag that. Back over here. And there we go. That's 1 ticket down, 4 to go. So we can now enter the carnival proper and see if we can scam some carnival barkers out of some tickets and maybe find a way to get around to some of their rigged carnival games.
So at this point, we'll just let's continue playing a little bit since you're taking some video.
If I'm wrong, you get a ticket redeemable for a prize you desire the most.
Alright, so yeah, this area has kind of a, open-ended, spread-out sort of thing, well for a cave. So we're going to explore a little further here. And this is, this has like, kind of platforming navigation, but it's really an adventure game at heart, so all these little things are like different puzzles that you can interact with, and, you get stumped, but then you think about it, and you try some different stuff, and eventually figure it out. There's a whole bunch of items you can pick up along the way. So yeah,
the nice thing about this area, the carnival, it's a very large, interconnected environment. So if you find yourself getting stuck on a particular puzzle, there are any number of other things you can be doing at any given time. Often you'll, just by running around and trying to solve a different puzzle, you'll find something that will, prompt something in your brain. You'll think, oh, I know how this can go back and be used to solve the thing I was trying to do before. So, there's a lot to explore. There's a lot of geography to run around in.
So yeah, I'm riding the Ferris wheel up here. I saw an empty fuse box back there, and like it was tied to like this fortune-telling machine that looked like it needed, like it might have needed a fuse. So I found one here, and that looks like it's powering the Ferris wheel. So I'm gonna try and grab that. Oh yeah, but it's electrified, and I was standing in water. Carnivals are just really dangerous, you know. Everything is, all the rides are unsafe and stuff. So yeah, like it looks like as long as the electricity's on, I'm not going to be able to do anything. So yeah, why don't we? I'll hang out here, and yeah, Chris, why don't you take camera focus and.
Let me see if I can figure out a way to get past that obstacle. So
sometimes, like a lot of times, you'll be like when you're playing co-op. A lot of times you'll be having the characters stick together, you know, just so you can all be running around and on the same screen. But sometimes it makes sense to like split up and go off in different directions so that one character can do something in one place, and that helps you with what you're doing in another. So.
And the cool thing about this being an adventure game is that you can kind of take it at your own pace. And so if you're playing single player, you can position any of these three characters anywhere you want, easily switch between them, take control of any of them at any time. But if you're playing on co-op, you can move through some of that stuff a little quicker because between the two of you or even the three of you, you can decide what you want each character to do in every given moment. So let's take got a wrench, you've got a generator truck, what happens here?
Alright, so that cut the power, and while the power's off here, I can, oh, right, yeah. Oh, yes. Alright, so
Let's shut down the Ferris wheel.
yeah. Alright, so now somebody got the power back up and running. So I'm going to ride this up here, and that little thing right there is a cave painting that, like, they're just little scenes that tell you, you know, give you a hint as to the player's backstory. Okay, so we're standing here.
JP's in position. So I'm going to come back to the generator.
Turn that off. We'll switch back, and now I can grab the fuse.
So now we have this fuse, we do whatever we want with it, and that is going to unlock a whole lot of other steps that are going to help us solve other puzzles. And let's see what we can find.
Here. Okay, yeah, the fortune teller gave us a fortune, and his crystal ball is glowing, so maybe that's something. And at this point, you know, we would just like go explore some more and figure out maybe what that's useful for, and try to piece it together. It's an adventure game, so it's all about getting stumped and talking with your friend, figuring out what to figure out how to.
Yeah, exactly.
How to move it.
To JP's point, like one of the great things, if you ever played classic point-and-click adventure games back in the day, definitely when I grew up playing those games, one of the things I always did, as much as possible, was play with a friend. So one of us would be at the computer pointing and clicking, the other would be looking over the shoulder and kind of calling out potential puzzle solutions and coming up with ideas and bouncing back and forth. Yeah. And the cool thing about Cave is that you can be doing that same thing, but you're both controlling characters all the time, or even three of you. And so you get that same kind of bouncing ideas back and forth and kind of two heads are better than one kind of thing, but you can actually both be in the world, both be running around, both be jumping, and you know, if your style of play is we want to be really strategic about this, kind of the way JP and I just did. We've got one person positioning the character there, one person positioned somewhere else. That'll work. Or you can, if you really want to, you can have one player take lead and really actually be solving all the puzzles himself or herself, switching back and forth, while the other player just kind of jumps around and has fun just being in the world. You can really do it however you want. It's just a nice way to be able to have that collaborative puzzle solving with your friends sitting right next to you on the couch. It's a nice way to play an adventure game. You got the monk, you kind of were neglecting the monk a little bit.
Yeah.